Hello, I'm Anna, and I am going to read my anecdote from the book Listen. It's on setting loving limits. So, we were all excited that runners would be carrying the Olympic torch past our house. The day of the run, my 6-year-old son was all keyed up and eager to get out onto the road. We found a good spot atop a wall. Finally, the torchbearer ran by as we clapped and waved. My children wanted to run along after the torch for a bit, so I followed them. Then my son asked me repeatedly for some Olympic merchandise that other children were waving and wearing, green ribbons on sticks and fake gold medals. I had bought the children each a flag to wave and didn't have the money or the inclination to buy more. So I set a limit. I got down to his eye level and kindly said, "No, we're not buying any more Olympic things now." At this point, we were in a mall and my son had jammed himself against the doorway of a sports shop filled with Olympic items. He got angry. He got really angry, and he said he would bite me if I didn't buy something for him. I was surprised by his vehemence, but said I wouldn't let him hurt me. He tried to kick out at me, so I gently held his leg and repeated that I wouldn't let him hurt me. He said I had to buy him something. I gently said I wasn't going to buy any other Olympic things today. His anger turned into tears. He said, "I want something I can keep forever." I really heard him on this. I could empathize with his feelings of excitement and then his disappointment. It was all over so quickly. I was consciously practicing bringing a loving limit, trusting that it would be useful to him longer term, more useful than a piece of Olympic junk. He cried and I stayed with him listening. In time he was ready to go and his mood turned cheerful. That evening I had to go to a class and say goodbye to him with a warm hug and a kiss. He followed me downstairs and he wanted to give me another hug, blew me lots of kisses and waved as I left. In my son's warm, affectionate goodbye, I felt the connection between us built by setting the limit and holding it lovingly. So at that point, my son was 6 and my daughter was 8. And why did I decide, what prompted me to tackle that particular issue? It was really necessity because I really didn't have any more money on me, and I really knew that it was an emotional project for Max at the time. That every time we went to a store, like to a supermarket or something, he was wanting to buy something. So it was necessity, and it was also that I knew it was a really important thing to set a limit around. And how has the challenge unfolded? It was incredible because at the time when he was so angry and he said he was going to bite me, and I was really surprised at just how angry he got so quickly at the limit. It was a time when we just moved to a new town and we moved to a new school, and we had experienced quite a few losses. So as soon as he said that, and it won't always be that they will say the thing that's driving the really harsh, the off-track behavior, but the moment that he said that, I could really, really empathize with why he was so attached to this. Like, he got really attached to the little Olympic thing as a stand-in for all these other things that he wanted to keep. So I was really touched by that, and I was so grateful that I had learned how to set that I was learning how to set a loving limit, because it's a gift. It's really a gift when you set a limit for someone, because the thing that he said he wanted to keep forever was the little piece of Olympic trash. But the thing that I would hope he would keep forever is a sense that when he's really, really upset and angry, that his mum could keep him safe, that she could keep herself safe, and that I was really willing to hear all of it, to hear just how hard it was for him. And I think that's a bigger gift than the piece of Olympic medal that he wanted to buy. So my son is now 8. My son is now 12. I think my battery's about to run out on my phone. So I'm getting a bit distracted. But my son is 12 and my daughter is 14. And one good thing that's happening in my parenting right now is it was really amazing to watch my son. He was transitioning to secondary school, to high school, and it was hard. It was a really tough transition from a little small human-centered school to a really big comprehensive school. And he really, it wasn't easy, but he really rose to the challenges, and I'm really touched to see how he's done that and how he became really self-motivated around his homework. And I'm almost excited now for his next year at school, which is a huge turnaround. It's been wonderful. So, and any message I'd want to say about this book is it is absolutely crammed with just top-notch information. It's absolutely chock-a-block. So when I'm responding to parents in classes, or when people are asking me questions on social media, if I know that they need the detail and the richness that this book can offer, I will always recommend this book. Every chapter in it covers each of the tools that we teach. It has an anecdote attached to each of the tools, so you can get a sense of how other parents have had them work in their lives. It's real, it's human, and yeah, it's just full of incredible information. I could read it and reread it. Thank you for listening.